All right. Well, let's get started. Like Lori mentioned, we are recording this for future people to be able to see, so we can make sure everyone gets the fun message of the Illinois Music Honor Society. So if you don't want to be seen on camera, please make sure you just shut that off. My name is Hope Conley. I am the state chairperson for Illinois Music Honor Society. I've been super excited about this since it started when we started in Coal City. Just kind of getting ideas out there and trying to get as many people involved. It's something I'm super excited that we're all doing. To start off, I would love for us to do a little bit of introductions for everyone who's here. So kind of just given, your name, your chapter, which is just your school name, and then what district you're in. So I'll start. Like I said, I'm Hope Conley. The chapter that I have is the Coal City Unit District 1, which is a middle school, high school chapter. And we are located in District 1. Also add one thing that your chapter did / is working on, just so we can kind of see what everyone's doing in their area. My chapter decided that they would like to start a podcast. So they're working on starting a music chat room podcast where they're going to interview different professional musicians in the Coal City area to get knowledge out for them and talk to them about what it's like to be a musician. So whoever would like to go next, welcome.
I can go next. Hi, I'm Megan Fitzgerald. I'm at Argo High School in District 1. We are literally just starting. We're in the process of going through our applications now. So we aren't doing anything yet other than applying. And then we'll have an induction ceremony later this spring and then hit the ground running next school year. So I'm eager to hear everyone's ideas of things that you're doing so I can steal them for next year. Thank you.
Hi, kind of similar. Karen Moffett at Westview Hills Middle School. It's in District 1. Really just here to learn and soak this in and interested in pursuing this at my school in the future.
I'm Curtis Fisher-Oschlager at Rock Ridge. We don't have a unit or a chapter, and I wanted to come here and see what's going on.
I guess I can go, but I'm gonna sound like I'm in a circus. So I'm at gymnastics. I'm in the parent hub up here, this little balcony thing. So I'll be on here as long as I can and as much as. So I'm sorry you're seeing everything in my face closely, so I can hear what's going on. And I forgot earbuds and all those things. So I'm Melissa Gustafson Hines. I'm in District 6. We just started the chapter this past year at O'Fallon Township High School. And I'm here for just a little bit of time, but I'd like to hear what other people are doing because we are so busy at times that I have more time in the fall, believe it or not, to do some things. But I'm looking for something where I can start kind of having some traditions for the group, bringing choir and band together, just some new ideas. Because everyone's like, "What are we doing?" I'm like, "We're doing nothing right now. I'm so sorry." So I have them doing their service hours and different things, but I would like to do something special for them at the end of the year. We've already done an induction ceremony, which was very nice. We had that in December, but I would like to start having some set things that they do. So I guess I just need some ideas on that.
I can go next. I am Ethan Stieber from Flora High School in District 5, and I guess something we've been doing, or something we're trying to get started this semester, is doing a little bit of service outreach with our 4th and 5th grade beginning band. So trying to get some of the high school kids over to the elementary school to work with some of those beginners.
So I think, Christy, you want to go?
Sure. Hi, I'm Christy Cyrus. I'm in District 5, and I'm just here to learn. We don't have a chapter or anything, so I'm just interested in seeing what this is all about.
Amazing. And then, Kristen? And then Taylor. Hi.
Hello. So I'm just here as a student programs manager, and working to help Hope with getting some things off the ground and running, and also helping to manage who's a registered chapter. I don't have a chapter myself, but we do have some in the local community that I'm in. So excited to see what ideas come out of this meeting here, and then also get some more from them.
And I'm Lori Evenhouse. I'm the communications manager in the state office. So I am also not a chapter sponsor, but I have put together resources on the website for y'all to use for your chapters. So that's how I participated this year.
Amazing. Well, welcome everyone. So the first thing on my kind of list from my agenda wise, I'll give you a little bit of background what the society basically is. So it can be a middle school through high school honor society that focuses on service, musicianship, academic integrity as well. It's something that's always important in our schools. But just getting music out there through our students to promote them to continue performing in public, and hopefully build lifelong musicians throughout. Something that's in the works right now through our ILMHS kind of projects is we would like there to be some kind of unity service project. So as I mentioned at the beginning of this meeting, something that's super important to me for this society is that we work as a full state on top of just our tiny little chapters. So not it just being individual, but that our students have a chance to work with people throughout the state on one common goal. So what would the Unity project be? It'd be a Unity, I don't want to repeat myself, but a statewide service project that every chapter would kind of do something within their own area towards that project. What would that project be? When would it take place? The month of the project would probably be in March due to the fact that that's Music in Our Schools month. It's perfect time to have every school that has a chapter throughout the state working on music service projects. What would the theme of that chapter be, or that unit be, Unity project? That would be decided by the host chapter. So that leads me into my next thing. Kind of like how the collegiate chapters have a host chapter for their 2-year term, we are looking to do the same thing through our high school / middle school chapters. This way, it is truly coming from what the students want from our society, and less of like, hey, I'm an adult who thinks this is what you want. And it's more so the students are saying, hey, this is what we find really important for music and what we think the state needs to know or state should have help with, right? So what would that host chapter be in charge of? There would be an application. It'd be a 2-year term, and their duties would be basically heading that Unity project. That'd be the main big one. They'd be manning ILMHS booth at IMEC. That kind of helps me out as well. I'd be there as well, but just so that we get more students involved with that and get more students at the IMEC festival is super important as well, to see kind of all that leadership and just see the state level performances and everything like that. Organizing and helping man large ensemble MHS booths. So having our MHS chapters go to those large festivals that are in our districts and having them be there and talking about what Music Honor Society is, and then having the leadership in each chapter kind of write an article for our spring Music Educators Journal. That way we get more of the students' voices out there too. So that's kind of the host chapter thing that's going on. And please stop me with questions or whatever if I'm rambling. I apologize. But yeah, so that's the host chapter thing that we're doing. For the registration wise, something that we want to try and make sure that is we're trying to make available for everyone is this idea of having it be kind of like our ILMEA memberships, where it's a subscription based instead of, yearly. That way, for people who are in right now, who are just starting in the spring, they're not having to then re-register right away in the fall to be considered for the next school year, so that it would just be one continuous, okay, you registered in April, then April again is the next time that you register your chapter. That way you don't have to start a chapter in the fall. You could start it whenever it's best for your school to start, right? If you decide, hey, in May, you know what, we really would like to start a chapter right now for the summer. Okay, then you can work on it for the summer and then it's there.
And
so
I
I believe
hope, I was gonna say, I can jump in here real quick too and say, if you all are already like, you paid your membership for the year, like, we're really glad that you're here. And so we will make sure to let you all know, and we can look to, like, if you just did your subscription, we're not gonna make you pay again right away. Just because we don't have that platform ready quite yet. We just have to work out a few more things with our website. So we'll make sure to transfer all of those over. And then, like Hope said, let's say you choose to start up your chapter now so that you can do your induction in the spring. Yeah, we're not going to make you pay the $50 again. It'll just be the subscription. So I just want to let you know, like, we're still like putting the finishing pieces together on that. So we don't have it ready tonight, but now that we know who you all are, we can make sure you get it when it is ready.
So that's kind of like just my little informational thing on what's happening right now in the works for this society. And what's kind of being built around that. So a lot of people, from what you've said, are just starting out your honor society. Coal City has been very, very blessed to have had one since 2021. Is that when we started this? Whenever it started, back when we were like, yeah, join. And it was like they pushed it out in January. We had our induction in March. It's kind of how it all went down. So really the main thing, at least that what Coal City has been driving on it, and that I've been using them as guinea pigs. Love them. They're so sweet. But really trying to make it a very student-led organization. We have a lot of great ideas, but the students also have amazing ideas, and making them kind of take hold of it. My chapter currently doesn't meet a ton. It meets once a month. Because of we used to last year have a middle school, high school meeting together, but because of the schedule this year, it's currently just high school meets by itself, middle school meets by itself, and then the leadership can join. We have 8th grade representatives that come up to the high school meeting and listen to the high school meeting, and then stuff like that. For our chapter wise, we do our inductions April, kind of towards the end. Right now, they're on an application basis, so they apply if they want to do it. They just go through. It is going to be shifted to more of a you'll be nominated as like someone that like an invitation, and then you apply with a kind of chapter sponsor thing. So how that would work is like the director sees a kid who should be in the society based on their service and performances and auditioning for ILMEA and stuff. And I go to them and give them, hey, this is something you should really do. All they have to do at that point then is to find a current member in MHS to be their sponsor and to help them make sure that they have everything they need to be able to be inducted in the spring. So it kind of gets them talking to other people within our society, whether it be choir or band. We do have a choir and band program at Coal City, so it is mix of both. It's heavily band because I'm a band director, so a lot of my students are in it just because I talk about it all the time. But we're getting more and more choir only kids in, which is really nice. Other than that, they do work on all their service stuff. We try to make sure that once they've hit those public performance and service requirements to get in, that once they're in, the society tries to help them maintain that kind of requirements that we already have put out to them. So That's what Coal City does. It's really what's nice about this society is you could really take it however you want to, lead it. Other than we want the students to have all A's or B's in their music, those minute little requirements. Other than that, though, we really want this to be, what do you guys need from it? So, that leads me to the next thing, which is open floor, with just questions and answers. Basically, the one question I had is, what do you guys need from ILMEA or me or other chapters to help you guys either get it started in your school or for your current chapters to succeed? What are some things you need from us or questions you have to help that get going?
I'll jump in with a question if that's okay. I'm
Yeah.
curious, what does your induction ceremony look like?
Yeah. So for us, how we kind of run it is we somewhat follow that script that's on the website right now, but we always start with welcome to the ceremony, and then each of our leadership. So we do have president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer in Coal City's level. They each read a quality of what the society is. So one student reads about musicianship, one reads about leadership, one reads about academics, and one reads about service. And then they just kind of give like, this is what it means for service in our society, blah, blah, blah. We go through then into, recognition of new inductees. And then we go into recognition of seniors. One thing that's super, I think, unique to Coal City is our kids wanted at their induction ceremony, as you're being inducted, to walk across the stage to get your little flyer that says you're being inducted. You then hit the gong, because in culture, the gong represents unity and starting of new things. And so they really wanted to hit the gong, and that's what we do. You go across the stage, you get your I'm in MHS, and you hit the gong. Then we recognize the seniors, who will be graduating in May. They get their cords. And then we have been very blessed to have other educators in the area be able to come into our inductions and actually be a keynote speaker. So this year we have one of our former general music teachers. She was actually my general music teacher coming in. Dr. Sydney Bennett is going to come in and do a little keynote just about like continuing music after you graduate, or what does being in music mean, or just something inspirational to give the kids kind of excited about staying and doing more musical things. So that's something that we do. And then we have a little bit of refreshments after. Cookies and punch is really what we do. The ceremony probably takes 30 minutes tops, but we have our theater director light the stage all pretty, and yeah, but it's really just that simple. We really do follow pretty much the organization of the script that's on the website. Oh, and we do high school and middle school at the same time. So they both, because we're one chapter, it's one induction. They all get inducted together, and they all go to the same induction ceremony, and they all hang out together, and yeah. Just check the chat because I see we got chat things, links.
I think for me, I just need to come up with ideas of how to keep it going during the year. Because we fall met quite a bit, but in the spring, like the band people and the choir people have it's musical, so the choir people are gone quite a bit, and then we have all the things. So I need to have some consistent things in place. But I appreciate the ideas of we have service hours we have to do, but I think next year I'm going to make categories of service hours of something for the school, or something for the feeder kids, or something for the community, or and then maybe there's one giant thing we do together, something like that. So I think that's been some good
Mhm.
thoughts, just so it's not like volunteer here, because now our kids are like, can I go to this junior high rehearsal tonight? I was like, yeah, you can go. I mean, they're kind of for some things. So but I think I need
Yeah.
to make it maybe specific, and so I know that kind of what they're doing. So
Mm.
yeah, it's been a good thought. So
I know for like service hour wise, a lot of our kids do like they'll pass out programs at concerts. So for the concerts they're not in, which can be hard when they're in everything. But we try and keep a lot of our service projects too in line a lot with what they are doing. So like if it's musical, they already have to be there, stay a little bit later and help paint sets. Something along the lines of what they're already doing to try and help them manage their schedule a little bit as well. Because yeah, I agree. Our kids are all, I mean, my kids are in band, choir, and musical all at the same time, trying to prep for one event. So it's I get that. Yeah.
This was brought up at the ILMA board meeting that just happened this weekend too, but another easy service hour project is bringing your kids to volunteer at ILMEA festivals and things like that. Like obviously they would, if a high school wouldn't be able to volunteer at the senior level festival, but like at the junior level festival or something like that, helping schlep music stands. And I'm sure if anybody called their district president and said, or their rep and they're like, hey, do you need help? They'd say, how many people would you like to bring? But also, just because those are already so built into our calendars, that might be a really easy way to start service projects.
We also have the large ensemble festivals too, where students can run kids, can you take this group to warm up, or can you stand out in front and greet people as they come and take the scores? So things like that, we have again built into the calendar as well.
Yeah. And I think something that we could always do as well, that I started a bit ago that I haven't touched since, but it's still in my inbox, is just have a list of possible service projects that people could do in their own chapters that we just add to our little FQ&A sheet or thing that we have already on the website that's like, hey, I'm interested in what are some service ideas. Here they are. Boom. And that's something too, with these chapters kind of starting, we really are hoping to be able to like recognize different chapters for doing stuff. So we're starting up the we're working on, so I'm starting up the service award, the getting recognition of chapters, and hopefully being able to like post pictures of chapters doing stuff, or like, hey, if your chapter does something cool and you want it to be recognized by ILMEA, submit it, and we just have a bunch of um different recognition of chapters doing other things so we can get other ideas of what's happening, right? 'Cause that's something that is really important. Like I said, to me, that as a District 1 person, I'd love to know exactly all the people in District 1. Maybe we could all get together and have our chapters do like a giant District 1 party. Like, woohoo, chapters. We're doing music together, and it's just a jam session, and all they did was hang out and talk about music, but they're meeting other people who are also in Music Honor Society and passionate about music just like they are.
Because that's something we always get on the student feedback after All-State is the students always wish there was more time for socializing between, other music, high achieving music students from different schools. So that might kind of fit that gap too.
Yeah, and even like if that's what they're putting on their surveys too, at the state festival, we already require people to put down if their students are in MHS or not. So having something maybe built, I mean, I know their schedule is jam-packed that weekend, with rehearsals and everything like that, but we do have a section of time of downtime before the jazz one too. Or even, we find a spot that would just be like, hey, we're all getting together and we're gonna have lunches, pizza. All the band kids get their MHS lunch, or something like that during their already planned breaks, that each of the groups can do. But that is something that we can. Charlie, I don't know why you're breaking. So,
Is there a list of all the chapters somewhere? I feel like I've seen a list somewhere, but I cannot find where I saw that. or I made it
Yeah.
up in my head.
We do have one. I don't know if it's posted publicly though.
Okay.
I know we do have a logo.
Yeah, that's something Hope Taylor and I have talked about putting on the website so that you can easily connect with other chapters in the area.
I was honestly thinking too, and this is just my brain shouting, but an interactive map where it's just got like little dots on the map and you could just hover over and it's like, that's this chapter, that's this chapter, that's this chapter. So you could see kind of where in the state those chapters are, kind of like a light board. I hear you. I promise. I do. Sorry, I have a whining child that's on 4 legs that is angry that I'm not paying attention to him, and my other one is over here chasing her tail because I'm not giving her attention. So other than that though, hey, don't be mean to him. Other than that though, yeah, if my other question that I had for you guys, if you wanted to answer it, is, you know, what do you want to see from MHS that will benefit our students? You know, what are your hopes and goals for, like, if you could design the society to be exactly what you want it to be, what are some things that you're hoping you can get out of starting a music society, or this particular music honor society that you would want to see for you to start a chapter?
I mean, we haven't officially started ours yet, so take this with a grain of salt. But I do like the idea of maybe somehow being connected with other students, you know, in other chapters. I think that would mean a lot to them, just like see other people in action doing things that are other students, other teens like them or younger for middle school. So I think that would be a nice component to like look more into and maybe try to develop more and going into the future.
Absolutely. I know for me at Coal City and through this, that has been my big thing of like leader, I don't know, District 1 leadership conference of the presidents, vice presidents in each MHS chapter in District 1, or doing even, you know, around Coal City, I think Wilmington might have one, like doing a cross service project with Wilmington, getting the kids to see each other and support each other, so then when they do go to these festivals and they do go to these places, it's not like, oh, I don't know anyone here. It's, oh, hey, they're my buddies from that school that we did that service project with. That's super fun. I didn't know you guys were going to be here. How cool. Like, they can talk to each other, and then we build this community and we do more, especially with us having created Illinois Music Educators Association. That was our goal, is to be very, what do we need as Illinois educators? What do we need for our students? And I agree that having that communication through the state for the kids is extremely important to continue their growth, especially as they go into college too and start to meet new people.
Kind of along those lines too, I wonder if some of the Illinois collegiate music ed chapters could kind of work with the Music Honor Society groups that are in their district and kind of help facilitate some of that too. I know that was something we talked about at EIU, with kind of trying to create a more cohesive connection in the districts.
Ethan, were you eavesdropping on the board meeting that happened this past weekend? 'Cause we talked about FMES to, you know, the Honor Society to collegiate to the Bridge Mentorship Program, exactly what you were talking about. That's awesome.
I mean, I wasn't sent a Zoom invite, but I very well could have been on the same wavelength. I don't know.
Yeah, I love that. And I know that it was brought up too while in the music educators conference of possibly having even like Phi Mu Alpha or other music fraternities, Kappa Kappa Psi, come in and do events as well on top of that to kind of foster that into. So yeah, totally awesome idea.
I think if we can get some kind of listing of both high school, well, middle school, high school, and college on the website, that might be helpful, because really when I was thinking about starting it, I think I just asked Hope a bunch of questions. I think Stacy has one at Lincoln Way, right? She has a chapter. I had to ask questions like, what is this? What do I do? Look at the website. Okay, got it. So it might be helpful, especially with that college aspect of knowing, like, if there's any of the local ones that are near to Argo, in my case, that might be helpful to know who to reach out to.
Exactly. And I know that's something that I was talking with Lori and Taylor too when we had our meeting back, where I was like, hey, how did you ask me to get a huge list posted somewhere? So yeah, that's something I think that for sure working on as well. They hear you too, Char. It's okay. Does anyone have any just general questions too about ILMHS while we, I mean, that's pretty much our meeting other than questions. Tentatively, we do have another one scheduled for Monday, September 16th, possibly. I know it's in a far time away, but it's a tentative schedule. So, yeah. Anyone have any other last minute, not last minute, but any other questions that they could possibly think of? Okay. Well, if people do end up thinking of questions, you are more than welcome to email the Music Honor Society email. I do check that pretty regularly at this point. I say that because now I know that I've done something to my email where it sends everything to an inbox. It's not an inbox. However, I did get one email to the inbox today, so I think I fixed it. But I know, right? But that is Music Honors Society at ilmea.org. You're more than welcome to shoot an email through, and if I don't know the answer, I'll send you one who does, or I'll give you the link to the page that does have the answers. So yeah, you and Taylor was kind enough to share that email in the chat as well. So if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out. I love answering questions. I do. I talk a lot, and it's fun. So,
And if you
well, thank you
do
so much for coming.
I'm going to jump in real quick before you thank everybody. If you do end up having an induction ceremony or any sort of end of the year ceremony and you take photos, please send them to me, because we would love to share them on social media or share them via email of what people are doing. Even if it's your very first event ever, we want to celebrate that too. So if you have any photos of anything that you do as you start up or continue on your chapter, please send them my way to the state office, and we'd love to celebrate that.
Absolutely. And like, it's never too late to have an induction ceremony for the year. I know mine's happening next week. But you could have it in May too. It's not too late ever to have one. And like I said, it's middle school through high school. So if you have a unit district like I do, I mean, that's perfect way to get students to continue into high school as well by already knowing some of the high schoolers or knowing the high school program as well. So thank you guys so much for being here. I am super excited to see all of you, and that you guys were able to join us. And I look forward to being able to grow the society and see more chapters pop up and get to work with each other more as the year goes on.